Hi kids, this is Miss Rachel and I want to do a Sunday school lesson for you. This will be our first one. I want to start in John, which is in the New Testament. I'm going to be using this digital Bible. It's the Net Bible that you can get for free at thenetbible.com. If you have your own Bible, that's great. I would like you to look at my other video called Doing a Bible Check to make sure that you have a good Bible that you're using that would be appropriate for studying from. We're going to start in John chapter 1, verse 1. If you have the Net Bible, if you tap up there, then you can go in here. This has all of the books of the Bible. So this section down here is the New Testament, and you come to John chapter 1, verse 1. And then when you finish reading, it will pick up where you left off. It'll automatically save it for you. So I'm going to use a couple of books here for pictures because this first part we're going to start with doesn't have a common story and pictures that go with it. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was fully God. So here it's talking about the beginning, before the world was created. Remember, there was nothing. I am using right here, this is the Brick Bible, and this is the Old Testament. This is Genesis before it starts. Okay, there was nothing. And in this booklet, it shows it this way because it's hard for us to imagine nothing. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was fully God. The Word was with God in the beginning. All things were created by Him, and apart from Him, not one thing was created that has been created. In Him was life, and the life was the light of mankind. So when it says in Him was life, if you have read Genesis, you'll remember in the beginning that God breathed life into man. This is a very cute representation of when God had just shaped Adam and He breathed life into his nostrils and he became a man. And the light shines on in the darkness, but the darkness has not mastered it. A man came, sent from God, whose name was John. He came as a witness to testify about the light so that everyone might believe through him. He himself was not the light, but he came to testify about the light. The true light, who gives light to everyone, was coming into the world. He was in the world and was created by him, but the world did not recognize him. He came to what was his own, but his own people did not receive him. But to all who have received him, those who believe in his name, he has given the right to become God's children. Children not born by human parents or by human desires or a husband's decision, but by God. Now the Word became flesh and took up residence among us. We saw his glory, the glory of the one and only, full of grace and truth, who came from the Father. John testified about him and shouted out, "This is the one about whom I said, 'He who comes after me is greater than I am, because he existed before me.' For we have all received from his fullness one gracious gift after another. For the law was given through Moses, but grace and truth came about through Jesus Christ. No one has ever seen God. The only one, himself God, who is in closest fellowship with the Father, has made God known." So when John said, "He existed before me," people thought this strange because the John it's referring to here was John the Baptist, who is Jesus' cousin. And John the Baptist was born before Jesus. So they might have thought it strange that he said he existed before me, but John knew that Jesus came from heaven, and because he had come from heaven, because he was God, he existed before him, because he existed since the beginning of time. And that is our first lesson, and we will continue next time with the testimony of John the Baptist. And I have that story in the Brick Bible in the New Testament.